Louis XIV, the Sun King. His whole brand was overwhelming magnificence, which is a very polite way of spending money he didn't have to convince everyone he was important. The Palace of Versailles wasn't just a home, it was a state-sponsored performance art piece that consumed, at its peak, about 25% of the French government's entire income. His finance minister, Jean-Baptiste Colbert, was a brilliant man, tasked with the impossible job of funding a god king's ego. While Colbert was desperately trying to streamline taxes and boost French manufacturing, Louis was busy commissioning solid silver furniture for his palace. Because when you're the literal center of the universe, you apparently need shiny things to reflect your own glory back at you. Of course, palaces aren't the only expensive hobby for an absolute monarch. Louis also had a deep personal passion for constant, fantastically expensive warfare. He fought the Dutch, the Spanish, the Holy Roman Empire. Basically, if you shared a border with France, you were on his to-do list. Funding these adventures required a tax system that was, to put it mildly, a complete disaster. The nobility and clergy, the people with most of the money, were almost entirely exempt. So the burden fell on the peasants, collected by private tax farmers who took a massive cut before any money reached the actual treasury. It's a brilliant system if your primary goal is to make a few private citizens absurdly rich while efficiently bankrupting the nation. Just when you think the financial decisions couldn't get any worse, Louis executed his magnum opus of economic self-sabotage in 1685. He revoked the Edict of Nantes. For nearly a century, this had granted religious tolerance to French Protestants, the Huguenots. The Huguenots also happened to be a massive chunk of France's most skilled artisans, bankers, clockmakers, and entrepreneurs. So naturally, they left. Over 200,000 of them packed their bags, their skills, and their capital and went to enrich France's biggest rivals. Prussia, England, and the Netherlands were absolutely thrilled. It was like their main competitor had just voluntarily airdropped its best talent right onto their doorsteps. By the time Louis XIV died in 1715, he left behind a magnificent country with an utterly shattered financial system. The national debt stood at a cool 2 billion livres, a number so astronomically high his successors couldn't even properly calculate it, let alone pay it off. This wasn't just a short-term problem, it was the fiscal time bomb that would tick away for 74 years until it finally exploded in the face of his great-great-great-grandson in 1789. So, in a way, the Sun King's greatest legacy was ensuring that the monarchy itself would end with a very public, very sharp haircut. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more historical insights. Thanks for watching, nerds!